Have you ever wondered if a Minecraft world could be taken from the oldest version all the way up to the newest version? Well, then, you're in the right place. I did, so let's get started. I first got this idea from stumbling across a YouTube video called History in Chunks by 3KO. And in the beginning, he said he would talk about the history of Minecraft while transferring the same world all the way through to the newest version of Minecraft. And so, I sought to do that myself. So in the original version of Minecraft, it was actually called Cave Game at the time. And what I decided to do to border the entire world, to make sure I could remember where the original chunks were for this first world, I basically made this little cobblestone wall that went around the entire build. I also built a castle, and nothing else screams classic Minecraft more than building a castle in it, and I thought that was really cool. I also put an L in the middle as a little monument signifying that this is my world, as well as the original cobblestone house that we see in every original video, and the beginning of a house that I would later build bits and pieces of as I went through the versions. I kid you not, it was so hard to take the original Cave Game save file and put it into the Infidev version of Minecraft, which is the next playable version, which you need to move it up to. But don't worry, I'll leave all the instructions in the description of this video. It was very cool to get to this point because how the world had generated is that all the water around me and the chunks that generated that were the normal chunks kind of created this little box structure, and the water was just sitting there, and it was super beautiful. It was also crazy to see that the inventory has looked almost the exact same through even until the latest updated version. I also found that F5 was very, very hilarious because his arms just kind of sway back and forth and forward and back. It's just hilarious. I also found out how to load your custom Minecraft skin into the oldest playable version of Minecraft, and boy, it worked. Now I don't have it on camera sadly, but of course the first thing I did was punch a tree. Then I got a crafting table and just started mining the wood that I could get around these trees that spawned on the edge of the border of the original Minecraft world. And as you can see, it actually stayed there, the entire cobblestone wall, but I didn't realize that it would have just been able to stay there in the generation, so I actually still really like the frame, but it's very beautiful all in all. Then there was lots of options to update between any of the alpha versions, and I chose obviously the first version that Herobrine was spotted in. It ended up being really fun. Then I started using the frame of my house because if this was going to be my house that I kept throughout all the versions, I might as well have just started using it here. As I was finishing up this clip, I also got my first death, and my first death by yours truly. After surviving/not surviving my first night, I decided that I would generate the Herobrine version of the world over in this chunk in this direction, as I would go to do for the rest of the versions. What's funny is that I also encountered my first glitch, and it just so happened to be in the Herobrine version, which is kind of funny. It was super weird because I've all of a sudden stood still and the ground was shaking, but I couldn't do anything and my skin reset. And nothing got better until I actually quit out of the game. Anyways, then I basically just started generating chunks until I felt like I had a good amount to where I could keep on this world. And the cool thing is the neon trees and the grasses, it's actually a very, very unique thing to these old versions. It's kind of actually cool. And they also fixed F5, thankfully, and it almost looks basically how it does now, and it also is at an angle slightly. It's not lined up with your head as it is in the newer versions. I had just found my first sheep, and I was going to try to put them in the hole, but then my game glitched again. My skin went away, and I just was stuck in a punching motion and unable to move, and it was just really odd. And I just left the game and went back, and I fixed it. I fixed it all. Then I got one sheep in the hole, and then one just actually walked almost right into the hole, and I just punched him right in. And in this version, the wool just automatically grows, and you get it by punching them. Then night started coming, and of course I ran all the way home. Along the way, I also found out how to change the fog distance / render distance, and it made it actually look really creepy walking home on the way back. I decided to take shelter on the castle because that's the only structure I've had at the time, and it was the only thing that was going to keep me safe from the hordes of mobs that were spawning. Finally, it was beginning to become day, and I had never been more happy to see daylight in Minecraft ever in my entire life. These older versions are just so much more difficult because there's no food, no sprinting, nothing. Also, not totally sure about this one, but the cloud generation looked different to me as well. Sorry, I once again don't have the clip for this part for me actually getting to this place, but this was essentially the first place that I actually mined in Minecraft. I came and found some coal, some other thing, vein of iron, and just gathered a bunch of cobblestone because I didn't really want to mine out the cobblestone in that main area and preserve it as much as possible. I also built a 1 out of wool to signify the first place that I actually mined in this world. Now, we got some more stuff here, but every time I'd go to the top of this castle, I'd literally just sit there and AFK the nights out, because I literally would die every single time I tried to cross past mobs and stuff. I also messed with the fog distance a bit, and it made it look really beautiful at night with the stars. One night I also decided to build a little bit more of my house, and I gathered a bunch of materials, and just built really the frame a lot more, and just made it look a little nicer. And it also looks like I'm absolutely scared of this zombie right here, but that's because I really am. These things are super hard in the early versions, and they're equivalent of like a freaking full netherite zombie. I also decided to mine the ores out of the walls of the big old chunk borders, and it ended up being pretty helpful. And I also kind of put back the ones on the front to kind of preserve the look, while also just mining out all the rest of these ores. And I also leave this structure that I use to get to these ores in for the later versions, just because, you know, it was the first time I mined ores out of it. And at this point, I just put some torches on the castle and the house, and but I also wanted to share this footage because, as you can see, it is super difficult to walk through here at night, and I didn't have any footage of that until here. So, sorry, but if you see kind of like similar footage, but it's just for moments like this that are caught in other clips. But yeah, spiders leap at you, skeletons are freaking crazy with their arrows, don't even hold a bow. And yeah, I started attacking the skeleton, the spider just started going at it, which actually saved my life. Now we've upgraded to Alpha 1.2.6. And we got a couple new items, you know, the feather and the bucket, so it ends up coming very, very useful. And as you can see here, you know, I'm using some other, you know, basic Minecraft strategies to protect me from these mobs because it still is very, very hard. And I also landed the oldest water clutch in history, so check this out. That felt so much cooler than it was. So all of this is on the north side of the box, that I like to call it, and I basically was just running to generate the chunks that come from 1.2.6, and as you can see, the mobs are all on me, and I'm running for my life and swimming away in the water. Just check this out, there's like 4 and they all just keep following me, so it's pretty scary, but it's a great time. I love the difficulty in it. Now we've upgraded to beta 1.8, and as you can see, we have the old Minecraft logo menu screen that we all know and love, and it looks pretty nice. Just tell me if this clip doesn't catch Minecraft nostalgia in the fullest. What's up? Sorry for pausing your childhood, but I don't know why, there was just 3 Endermen that spawned there, and it just looks so creepy. Like, it almost looks like something straight out of a creepypasta, but anyways, let's keep going. I also forgot to mention that they kept following me too. I must have looked at them in the eyes, and also looked even more creepy because they're just all in the line sitting there, and I don't think I've ever had a creepier experience in Minecraft than this, but it's crazy. At this point, I just got into a cave trying to go down and build a nether portal, and I got down to a half heart and like 2 hunger, and I was just sitting there till the daylight, and I was not gonna do a thing because I was really far away from spawn. I don't have the footage, but in this cave, I ended up generating the nether in the version 1.0, and I'll later show you that in the newer version so we can fully see what I was doing down there. And one of my hardest things during the oldest versions of Minecraft was getting food. And finally, this 1.0 version, I saw a ton of pigs in one area. I literally just ran and slaughtered them, so here's a little montage of that.
I've got you in my sights.
In the arms of the angel.
Here's some bonus footage of me sleeping in my first bed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please do leave a like and subscribe. And if this video gets, sorry, my camera's closed. If this video gets 1,000 views or 100 likes, I'll give a full tour of the world and all the places that we visited in this video. So thank you all so much for watching, and you have a great day. What did you want to do?
Huh?
I thought you said you wanted to do something.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's a uh-huh or it's a uh-huh.